Hello, everyone. James Wilson here. And I know it's been a while since I've done a video. There hasn't been a whole lot that's been going on in politics except for the fact that Joe Biden has been doing an extremely terrible job. I mean, we all knew that it was going to be bad, but we didn't know it was going to be quite this bad with the extreme inflation that's going on in this country. But it makes a lot of sense because when you throw money at things, the value of the dollar goes down. Therefore, the prices go up. So, with him throwing, we're glad that this infrastructure deal didn't go through because if it went through, homes would be $1 million in Texas, or at least $500,000 plus for a decent home. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. Obviously, we had the recall election in California. There's no reason for me to even do a video on that because I knew it was crap. I predicted a 20-point lead, give or take, for the Democrat, and it came to about 24. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about something that's actually kind of worth talking about, which is the Virginia governor election. And this is an election prediction video. I'm going to do it based on a lot of stuff, sociology, stuff like that. Last time, Trump lost the state by 10. Actually, it was over 10, or around 10. And it's going to take a lot for Youngkin to win. We need every single vote, okay, for him to pull this off. Because there's a lot of people out there that will vote for the Democrat just because there's a D next to the name. I mean, gas could be like $5 or $10 a gallon. It doesn't really matter. These people are morons. They'll just vote Democrat no matter what. So, the first thing I'd like to take a look at is the polls. Now, the polls are, they're in favor of Youngkin by about a point overall. Okay, the Fox News poll, they did one on Youngkin +8, which is an anomaly. It's a lot different than the rest of the polls, which is +1, +1, +1, tie, +3. And so I question that poll. In all honesty, I question the poll. Okay. So when you take a look at the map, you will see that it's in favor of Youngkin over McAuliffe. So, it's and I think the biggest reason for this is because of the education deal and the fact that the Democrats said, well, McAuliffe says, well, it doesn't matter what parents think, yada, 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 and that actually hurt him in a blue state, because Virginia is now a blue state. I don't care what anyone says, it's a blue state, so, but anyways, from a sociological perspective, you have to ask this question. Now bear with me here. This is going to look kind of creepy, but would someone like this, or someone like this, or someone who lives here, would they vote for a guy like this? That's the question you got to answer. That's going to be the election right there. Let's do this again. Would these people, or someone that's living here, vote for a guy like this? would they actually show up at the polls and vote for Youngkin? Or even at least mail out a ballot? They all voted for Trump. So we're not talking about Trump right now. We're talking about rednecks, lower class people wearing the rebel flags, living in a trailer. They never typically vote, but in this election, in the 2020 election, they voted for Trump. You really think they're gonna go for Youngkin? I mean, this is a clean cut guy. Tall, skinny, clean cut, nothing like him, folks. And that goes to my next topic. Those people mainly live in here. Okay? And you will see the darker the red, the higher turnout differences compared to the last election. It's mainly on the eastern side of the state, which is here is more Democrat, maybe 50-50, but more Democrat. There's some Republican counties, I'll admit to that, and I know that these areas up here are Democrat, but folks, listen, it's going to take everything to win this thing. It's going to take a lot. And we need these people over here to vote. We need them to vote. We need these people. We need these people. We need this guy that lives here. We need them all to vote for him to win. This is a Democrat state. This is a lean Democrat state. We need them all to vote for him. And if they don't show up at the polls, it's over. It is over. Look at this here. This was the 2020 election. You see how solid red this is? Those are those people that came out to vote for Trump. We need them in this election to win. Because the Democrats outnumber, or I should say, the Democratic philosophy, or whatever that's supposed to mean, outweighs the Republican conservative philosophies. And so when you look at this polling, it's so tight. It shouldn't be this tight. It shouldn't be this tight. It should be a blowout for Youngkin. When someone says it doesn't matter what the parents think about the school, it doesn't matter what the parents think. It doesn't matter. They should all vote for Youngkin. But it's not the case. See, here's the point, folks. Here's the point. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter what the issues are anymore. It's whoever has an R next to its name or whoever has a D next to its name. And if it has an R next to its name, it's bad because it's Trump. Doesn't matter if it's him or anybody else. Okay? And when you couple that with mail-in ballots, it's almost impossible. These people have to show up to win. They have to show up. And if they don't show up, it's over. I don't care what the polls say. This is a Democrat state. And you couple that with mail-in ballots, it makes it such a difficult job for Youngkin to even pull it off. He's running a phenomenal campaign. Is it going to work? I sincerely hope so. And as I said, I think that he has a chance. I think it's going to be extremely close. But at the end of the day, 50-49 in favor of McAuliffe, Democrat. That's it. That's it. That's who I pick to win. And let me tell you how it's going to happen. Youngkin's going to have the lead for the majority of the day. When the bell hits midnight, we're going to get some more mail-in ballots. And it could go on for days because, they're still mailing out those ballots, folks. And it's going to be extremely narrow. And so I would say for the most of the day, he'd have a lead probably. Youngkin would probably have a lead around 5 points or so. But at the end of the day, Fairfax is going to count everything. All the rest of the mail-ins are going to come in. I know they're supposed to count the mail-ins first, which is great. But someone already mailed in their ballot. They have to count those. So, at the end of the day, I think the Democrats going to win by a point. That's it. I mean, it's just the issues don't matter anymore. You have massive mail-ins. Anything can happen. Just too many liberals in Washington D.C. for Youngkin to pull it off. Youngkin's doing the best that he can. Obviously, his approach is a lot better than, let's say, Trump, who is more brash and everything. But he's more of a polished person. And what he's trying to do is to pacify the Democratic vote because he's comes off as a good guy, and he doesn't he wants the independents to vote for him as well. It's going to be much tighter. It's going to be 1 point lead for the Democrat. I mean, that's a 9-point swing compared to the election. But if it wasn't for mail-in ballots, if it wasn't for the mail-ins, folks, that's if it wasn't for the mail-ins, I think Youngkin would win by around 3 or 4 points, in all honesty. I know that it was about 1 million. I heard there were about 1 million votes that came in. There's going to be more that's going to come in. It's just... Youngkin can pull it off, but as I said, the people, I hate to say white trash, we need them to vote. If they don't want this critical race theory, they have to vote, but they don't know the issues. They just like Donald Trump. They didn't know do you think they know the issues? No. Some of them might, but some of them just went along with voting for Trump, but but this guy isn't Trump, and so that's my pick. 50-49, McCullough wins. Youngkin loses by a point at the end of the day, and I'm going to predict that this is going to happen after midnight, after they count all the votes. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't feel that this part of Virginia is going to vote enough like they did in 2020. If they vote like they did in 2020, Youngkin wins. If they don't vote like they did in 2020, if they stay home, then McCullough wins easily. Democrat all day. So it is what it is. It'd be another loss for the Republicans. Like and subscribe to my channel. Any comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.